States Semiquincentennial. It was launched to help coordinate Ohio's participation in the nation's 250th anniversary, which will be on July 4th of the year 2026. So a little bit into the future, we've got some time. The commission's charged with planning, encouraging, developing, and coordinating the commemoration of the 250th anniversary of the founding of the United States and the impact of Ohioans on the nation's past, present, and future. Now, the state law that created the commission gives the Ohio Arts Council representation on it through our board chair, Ginger Warner, with support from our executive director, Donna, and planning efforts are underway. So we're ready here today to amplify the role of the arts and hear your thoughts relative to the commission's early planning, and that's where Todd Kleisman comes in. So Todd is the executive director of the commission, and he's here to hear from arts organizations and really all Ohioans about what we hope to happen, what we hope to achieve in commemoration of the semiquincentennial. So Todd has been working on a statewide initiative to prepare Ohio to participate in the nation's 250th anniversary. And you may know Todd. He has worked with the Ohio History Connection for 18 years there as the Director of Community and Government Relations. A native of Dayton, Todd is a veteran of the U.S. Army, Operation Desert Storm, and has a wide range of experience working in the public, nonprofit, and private sectors. He lives in Columbus with his wife and daughter. So with that, Todd, I leave it to you to begin our virtual forum. And again, welcome to everyone here today.
Wonderful. Well, can't thank you enough. The Ohio Arts Council, Katie and Justin, thank you for facilitating and making this event possible. So, and thank you everyone for joining us and for your interest. Well, why don't we just go ahead and get right to it. I'm going to go ahead and start the PowerPoint. If it will move forward. There we go. Okay. Excellent. All right. So as Justin described, we are just getting started. The enabling legislation was put into place with the state operating budget that was passed last year, and we're just taking shape in 2022 here. As you heard, the Ohio Arts Council is represented on the commission. Once fully formed, there will be 29 members, and so we have the governor on here. He has designated the OBM director as his designee, and the Chief Justice of the Ohio Supreme Court, the Ohio History Connection, Ohio Arts Council, and numerous others. We have a couple of state legislators, some public appointees, and really a pretty great group. And as I say, right now, we're just kind of getting started. So we wanted to introduce you to this, give you a flavor for what's happening. And then toward the end here, of course, we want to have more of a discussion, and love to get your thoughts, inputs, questions that you may have. So, of course, all of this is leading up to July 4th, 2026. But as I often say, if we just had a party on July 4th, 2026, we would have squandered a huge opportunity. So we are very enthusiastic and looking forward to making the most of this opportunity. I think Ohio and Ohioans are going to lean into this. And so very much looking forward to this. So thanks for your interest in being part of this journey with us. Okay, so as I say, we're just getting started. So what are the kinds of things we're working on right now? Well, of course, a lot of outreach. We have formed several committees to work with us. We have something called a listening session. That's kind of what we're doing here today, is although I'm going to give you an outline of what we're working toward, really the most important piece of this is for us as the commission to listen and make sure that what we produce as a commission are the kinds of things that Ohioans and Ohio organizations actually want. We think that that might be actually pretty important. So we'll hire a small staff. There will probably be a few of us, hopefully by the end of this fiscal year. And actually, there's two of us right now. So my colleague, Jody Engel, who I think is on this call, she and I right now are the commission staff. So Jody, who used to work at the Ohio Arts Council, is working as a project coordinator for us. And I don't know what we would do without her. So we're very grateful to have her on the team. So we have designated 10 different committees, And we're looking at this from a lot of different angles. We want all the committees to provide us their thoughts, recommendations. And so we're hard at work at that right now. We're hoping that everything we do can be thorough, can be, have diverse voices. We definitely want this to feel inclusive. If you are interested in America 250, we want to find a way for everyone to plug in, and that goes for organizations as well as people. So right now, the imagery you see on this PowerPoint here is just simply temporary. We do not yet have a powerful website and a logo yet. We're still in the early stages. We're working toward that, and I promise you we will get there, but we're maybe a couple more months away from having an established brand and logo, so bear with us. And of course, this is a national effort, so we're going to be working in tandem with other states. There is a National America 250 organization and a foundation that were established. We'll talk more about that here in a couple of minutes. But they, of course, have been encouraging all the states to form commissions like we are doing here in Ohio. And so once we all get established, we will hopefully be learning from each other. And hopefully we're real optimistic that Ohio will be toward the front of the pack here. So this year, our first major assignment is to prepare a report for our state's leaders by September 30th, which is going to be here in a heck of a hurry. So that's why we have several committees forming right now, and they're busy discussing different possible recommendations. The report that we submit to the state does not need to be super detailed. What we're charged with doing is sort of putting forward a general vision for the kinds of activities. We want to demonstrate that we have gathered a lot of recommendations. We've gathered input from Ohioans, and what we end up putting into our report September 30th to the governor and our legislative leaders needs to be malleable, because a lot can change between now and 2026, including our funding environment. So we'll put together a report that we think can spell out the broad scope of what we're trying to accomplish, make some funding requests, but also be flexible so that we can move forward in the future and adjust accordingly to the opportunities and the challenges that we may see in the days ahead. So right here, I love to think of Ohio as such a content-rich environment as it pertains to Ohio history, Ohio arts. There is so much here. What I love about Ohio is it's not about 2 or 3 or 4 big things. I think it's about, many hundreds, if not thousands, of different things, different approaches, different people that influenced history. So you can kind of get a flavor for this here. And the listening sessions I'm having around the state, I'll be in Steubenville tomorrow and doing a session here in Columbus on Thursday. So stay tuned. And if we haven't been to your community, we probably are coming soon. Okay, so for this part, we all have our why. Why celebrate 250 years? For me, I think back a lot to when I was 6 years old, and we celebrated the nation's bicentennial in 1976. And it really did shape me personally. My interest in history really sparked a lot of curiosity. I wondered about those powdered wigs, and I wondered about those presidents, whether they were from Ohio or someplace else. There were trading cards and commemorative coins and red, white, and blue fire hydrants. If you're my age or older, you probably remember some of that. So this is not 1976, but some of that I hope is a similar opportunity for the 6-year-olds or 8-year-olds, whatever it might be in 2026. If one indicator of success is, can we immerse people into the spirit of 1776. For states like Ohio and farther west, it's going to be more of the spirit of 76 rather than the actual events of 1776. But I think all of us working together will carve that unique path for Ohio. And also, certainly, you're all familiar are the things that we're seeing in our current political environment. We're hoping to be something a little bit different from that. There's a whole lot of us versus them. And we're real hopeful that we can create somewhat of a safe space where we can be a mechanism for bringing people together. I think back to 1976, and that was coming after a lot of important social change that had happened. There was the civil rights movement. There was women's rights, women going into the workplace more than ever before. There was Vietnam, there was Watergate, and then there was 1976. So I think there's a bit of a parallel, I think, that, I think when we talk about, is America 250 a nice thing to have, or do we kind of need a mechanism for bringing people together? We're hopeful that we can be part of that. So those are some of the things when I think about my why for this. I think America 250 is coming at a very good time for us, and I hope you feel the same way. So we do have specific things that we're charged with in the Ohio Revised Code, and the good news is it's not super prescriptive. I think we have the opportunity to create for Ohio what we all can come to some consensus. We're basically going to prepare Ohio to participate in the nation's 250th. We can set this up in a way that's creative and can really fit the mood of Ohioans. So as I mentioned before, our intent here is to try to bring people together. We want to make sure that this is balanced and we are being inclusive. And also, the commission, we probably don't need to invent 20 or 30 new things. I think our biggest opportunity may be to amplify the good work that's already being done locally. So we're very interested in working and partnering with local organizations. America 250, the national group, is really is interested in providing resources and helping amplify the work at the state level. And I think we have a similar approach here at the state level, that we want to localize these opportunities, these activities leading up to 2026. We probably don't have to invent a bunch of new things. We'll probably find our spots and invent a few things along the way. But as I say, I think our biggest opportunity may be to amplify those good things that are already happening locally. So the short-term objective here right now is very focused on this report due to the state. We only have one opportunity to get this right, to set the stage for success. So we're going to try to do that with this report due in about 6 weeks. So keep your fingers crossed that we can get that right. In the longer term, we do see this as a public-private partnership to maximize this opportunity between now and 2026. We can have a report sent to the state that will be malleable, and I think we'll just continue to hone in on what Ohioans see as the big opportunities moving ahead. So I've mentioned at the national level, there is the America 250 organization and its foundation. Congress formed that in 2016. They began to take shape in 2018. So you can see here, there's a few things that they're focused on. Some of the values there, they're listed: service, diversity, love of country, collaboration, respect, integrity, optimism, imagination. I really got hooked into this when I saw some of what was coming out from the national level. I really loved some of the general themes, what they were trying to do with it. And so we need to mirror a lot of that here at the state level. So other states are also in the formative stage right now as well. The state of Pennsylvania, of course, home to Philadelphia, they are probably the farthest along. So they have adopted a logo there of America, America 250 PA. Some of the imagery there. You can see what several other states are doing. A lot are adopting that term of semiquincentennial as well. We're more interested in using the phrase America 250 Ohio, because the more you talk about a semiquincentennial, the more the topic is the word semiquincentennial. And in fact, I was in Marietta last month, and someone said, did you know that there's another term? There's actually a few other terms for 250, but one of them that really blew me away was called bicentennial. So whenever I feel like I'm complaining about the word semiquincentennial, I just have to remember, well, at least we're not using the term bicentennial. So with that, we do want to think about this. I'm going to wrap this up and we'll get to some of your questions and comments. But what are those big opportunities here for America 250? What are the kinds of things you would like to see Ohio pursue or invest in? What are the things that make you proud that really can tap into the Ohio pride? And also, where are the gaps? What are the untold or the undertold stories of Ohio? I think those are really interesting, and I really personally love to examine those things. There's like a bit of discovery involved with that. Those people or the places or the events that helped shape Ohio and Ohio future. So, with that, I just want to wrap up here. I mentioned, I think Jody Engel's on this call with us. I want to thank Jody for all that she does to help the commission move forward a little bit every day. But here's my contact information. As I say, in the future, we'll have a robust website with lots of bells and whistles. We promise that is in our future. For right now, we have a pretty basic website. Web page that is up temporarily, connected to the Ohio History Connection web page. So you can find some general information about the commission there. We invite your participation, your input. Feel free to reach out to me personally. And with that, I think I'll go ahead and just leave this up briefly, but I'd be very interested to hear what's on your mind. What questions do you have about the commission? Ideas, things that could be eventually turned into recommendations. So thank you so much for joining us. And with that, either Katie or Justin, I'll give it back to you.